Well, it's a journey. I
Good
did I did
plug.
not I did not set out on at the beginning of this journey to be a coach or to, like, I don't know, make a living doing what I do now. I work with a lot of people when it comes to sovereignty and creating sovereignty and alignment in your life. And I mean, the first thing that is really prominent in my mind, that's really important, and it's true in my journey, and like how did I go about doing this, is complete dedication to the
Hmm.
highest meaning you can serve right now.
Absolutely.
Like, success is not something to be aimed at. It is the consequence. It is the consequence of dedicating yourself to that which is most meaningful to you. So
Well said.
finding like the most valuable way you can relate to the world and relate to others, finding where you're most deeply called to serve and dedicating yourself. Most people fail in life not due to lack of skill, knowledge, talent, experience. Most people fail in life due to the lack of, I guess, ability to organize their energies around a worthy goal. And it's just
Hmm.
like, if you like sovereignty, the path to sovereignty and stepping in that place of alignment in life and alignment with purpose is to first and foremost, like, get real with yourself and listen to your nature. Like, what is your nature calling you to do? What do you love doing? What did you used to love doing? What skills do you have? And to look at this world, we're in this time of mass awakening. The universe is having a roll call right now. Who's going to step up? Who's going to step up to all these spots that need to be filled to build the bridges, you know? And like, sovereignty will be the consequence of doing what you're meant to do. And being who you're meant to be is the consequence of doing what you're meant to do. And like, that's kind of like the path I feel like right now.
100%.
That there's a massive roll call right now. There's this mass awakening ensuing, and also everyone's out of jobs right now. So everyone's like like they have this inkling of like transitioning towards something more in alignment with themselves. And it doesn't have to be the most grandiose vision. Most people have a lot of different interests and skills here, you know?
Hmm.
But it's like sitting with that and like seeing, where can I really serve? What am I really called to do? And fully dedicating yourself to it. Like, that's how I started my channel, is like, I was so much energy and aggression and pain,
Yeah.
like what came from this massive disillusionment of the world. And then I was really humiliated by my family and like everyone I knew. And like, after that, there was this fucking fire in me to spit the truth at all cost and to just spit
Hmm.
it at the realest way. And also awakening to all this like knowledge is like, let's go deep. Let's actually go beyond the new age here, and let's go into like, what
Yes.
are the ancients actually talking about? What is the real power? And like, always kind of seeking like, what is at the root of these things? So following your inclinations and dedicating yourself to it wholeheartedly. Like, I dropped out of school. I was basically isolated for about 2 years there. Didn't know
Mhm.
anyone. Spirit didn't even allow me to connect to anyone, it seemed like. And in that time, the thing that got me through that really intense phase of suffering in my life was the meaning I attributed to it. I had this like deep meaningful idea that like, yo, I'm doing this so that I can really like wake up to the deeper truth inside of myself, and that I can share. I'm so called to share, and it's so meaningful for me to share the real and raw experience of this awakening journey. And that's what I began doing. And from there, just evolved by consistency, by relentlessness and dedication, that, the manifestations are the consequence of. So yeah, that's kind of
Mhm.
my take on like that sovereignty thing. I know you asked a few questions there, but maybe you could dive a little specificer. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really well said. And I think anyone that's pursuing this path, like the entrepreneurship path, I want to get into this more after the break. We're coming up in the break in a minute or so, but this path is like it's so against the grain, and you're actually like I'm actually very lucky. Like my parents are supportive. They're like, oh, you're doing your own thing. That's really cool. I'm still going to school, so I didn't drop out of school, but for yourself, that must have really been a difficult journey where like if your parents are turning your back against you, that was only you that was like, I believe. And that's that masculine energy that has this vision and wants to manifest it. That's that call to action. So props to you, dude, for really sticking with your guns there and not giving up, because there's a lot of people that would have given up and just not been able to handle, like that those years when you're like early 20s. You're like, what am I going to do in my life? Like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? And how do I get out of being stuck in a corporate job for the rest of my life? Because that is not what I want to do. That doesn't resonate. That will make me an NPC by the time I'm 30. And I'm sure you know what NPC means, right? It's not a word that I like to use, but it is fitting for that situation. And so it just takes so much willpower, and there are some days where you want to quit, and we're getting into the break here. So we're going to have to talk about this on the flip side, but for everyone that's listening to YouTube, we will keep going for a couple more seconds or so.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I do want to say two things there. The first one is it does take will, but will is not the supreme. It's actually more so the meaning. It's the meaning. Like, you don't live and die for will, but you live and die for something, And like I saw no meaning in the world I was in. There was nothing meaningful there for me, and I always knew I was here to do something meaningful and great, And like, when I was so convicted of that meaning and of that dream, it was actually like the bridges burning behind me created a lot of pain, but also a lot of dedication, and made me really find the meaning in the suffering. Like, damn, I'm here and this hurts and I'm alone, but like, what's the meaning of this? Why am I here right now? And like, when suffering finds meaning, I love this quote from Viktor Frankl. When suffering finds meaning, it ceases to be suffering. And yeah, I think that suffering that I did go through really like led to the knowledge and led to like this absolute need, this burning desire and conviction for living into that truth and being a symbol of what life can be like, and creating that symbol with others. And like, just like really going all out for the dream, because, I've always been programmed that way, It's just like, yeah.
It's like, the attitude is like, either I'm going to succeed or I will die trying, I will not be able to, either I'm going to succeed in my business. Otherwise I will end up homeless and starve to death, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then the universe basically bends to your will when you put out so much energy.
All of it.
Yeah.
When you give it your all. Really, everyone listening to this is like, if you gave it your absolute fucking all, what would it look like? Like, what is your actual potential? What is your actual capacity? And like, those questions, it creates a lot of discrepancy. Like, I don't live anywhere close to my capacity and my potential, but like, still knowing that is really, really important. And furthermore, like you were saying, just like, I forget the king of England who invaded France and burned the boats behind him when he was outnumbered to the enemy army. They burned the fucking boats behind him, and all his soldiers saw the boats burning. And when they saw the boats burning, they're just like, fuck, I gotta win or I will never get home. Yeah. I will never see my family again unless I win. And oftentimes the person who wins is he who wants it most. And like, it seems like there might be discrepancy between that and maybe spiritual narratives right now. Like, desire leads to more suffering. And like, how could I really want to win if I don't want to desire right now? And we're ending the ad right now, so maybe we can dive into that. But
yeah, sorry, the ads are so loud. I can barely, like, it's kind of hard. Can you still hear the ads?
Yeah, I can still hear them.
All right, it was a little bit cutting out right there, but we're about to be back on in a couple of seconds.
All good.
So, yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about.
Yeah. Yeah, Thanuj, where would you like to take it within sovereignty or coaching? Would you like to talk more on these lines?
Yeah.
Cool.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Matrix Unveiled. You're listening to Truth Frequency Radio. My name is Tanuj, and I'm here back with Kristian Bell from Reality Files. Before the break, we were talking a little bit about sovereignty and, living your authentic purpose. This is something that I've stressed. And as I got onto my authentic purpose, the thing that I wanted to tell everyone was like, live your authentic purpose, live your authentic purpose. And I felt like a parrot, like I was just repeating myself. But it's like it's like when you align with the universe, all you want to do is see other people align with their universe, because it's almost sad to see people not living what they're meant to be doing. It almost hurts like inside, because you're like,
really
this person has right? It hurts, man.
It's so painful, especially looking at my family or, uncles, and it's really painful. Yeah. and guys, there's no better time than right now to just literally look at the consequences of your life if it continues in continuity. Look at the consequences. Okay, so what are the consequences if you just said fuck it? If there's only one thing I accomplish in my life, let it be alignment.
Fuck it.
Let it, just shoot your arrow, aim your arrow for your highest hope, aim your arrow of longing. Like a man with a why can overcome anyhow. Just aim your arrow. And I guess one point that I really do want to make here that's been coming to me a lot, I've been sharing with a lot of the people I work with. There is so much meaning waiting to be found right now. So much meaning. And most people, we're all in a crisis of meaning. If I look at the world, we're in a crisis of meaning. Life seems meaningless. Work is so meaningless and separated and out of alignment with our creative gifts and purpose. Everyone's grasping for meaning right now. And it's what creates so much pain in life when there's nothing really to live for, it seems like. And right now, there is so much meaning waiting to be found because we're going through a global mass awakening, and the level of pain on Earth is tremendous, and the level of healing needed is tremendous, and the level of healing going down and awakening going down is tremendous. And it's what part of the bridge, what part of the process do you want to serve? Everyone here listening to this, we're all interested, we're all inclined, we all have skills or specific places where it's wow, I like talking to groups of people. I like talking to people in this way, or healing people, or meditating with people. I love this kind of knowledge. I love the ancient mathematics. Whatever it is when millions and millions and millions of people are waking up at an exponential rate, the universe is waiting for you to step up to your roll call, and it's not going to be obvious. Here's the thing is we're out here creating new categories. Did I know that a sovereignty hermetic manifestation coach existed 2 years ago? Hell no. It was a journey. It was a lot of trial and error and experimentation to realize, this is what the universe is asking of me, and it's just start following that bliss and really dedicate yourself to what seems most meaningful in your life, because there's so much meaning to be found out here for those who aim their arrow.
Yeah. I think this conversation is very inspiring, not just to myself, but for anyone that's listening and they're feeling okay, I'm following my dreams, but I'm not seeing those results instantly. You may see some results and then you kind of back off because you're oh, I'm drained, I'm tired. Following your purpose. Some days I wake up and I'm I don't have the energy to make a video or to do a live stream. I just can't. I'm too tired. I've drained myself of creative energy. And it's really inspiring to hear somebody that has broken through where the manifestation has taken place in a significant level, and then that reflects in your outer reality. So it's incredible because it shows the truth will happen. It will manifest if you just stick with your guns. You just got, the universe is all right, are you gonna back down? And Christian's no, I'm not gonna
There's not even a no, because it's not even a question. There's not even a choice. There's only one way forward. There's literally nothing behind me.
That's so true. feel that.
Like there is no backing down.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm not at that point anymore. I already had the courage to like
That's what I'm
say
talking about.
yes. And I never even said yes, really. The universe just like grabbed me and started pulling me, kicking and screaming as I went. Like, and yeah, it's there's so much that could be said when it comes to like sovereignty and that path to like doing what you're meant to do out here. And it's so unique to each person. I'm working with a carpenter right now, helping him transition into like alternative living homes and development. I'm working with, a school teacher right now, helping her transition out of that. And it's like, and quite a few other like different scenarios, so many different scenarios. And it's really like coming to me like, wow, we all do have a sacred role here, and to like what needs to happen for heaven and earth to actually manifest itself is for people to step into alignment with their highest role, to step into their alignment with their place of mastery. Because for that model to happen, there has to be people stepping up to their highest level of service. And when they can band together and unite in that highest level of service, the nation will form around them. And like, if that's like the highest goal out there, it really just requires at a very simple level right here and now is like, can we discipline ourselves to what is here before us? Can we discipline ourselves to this very moment? Can we confine ourselves to what what our experience reveals to us? Like not the truth that someone else says or like what other people are doing, but like what's the truth of our experience? What has our experience taught us? What has it shown us? What do we love doing? What is our nature? What is innate to us? And discipline ourselves in this moment just to be with it fully. And that's where the gifts are going to start to unravel themselves. It's your journey. Love the journey. Love that song that just exponentially, expands into the symphony. So yeah, that's just kind of the insight I wanted to share there. A lot of thought has been put into that, but thank you so much, Thanush, for the questions.
Yeah, I think, it's incredible. Like when you tap in, you feel that flow, you feel that abundance. The abundance is something that I noticed the second that I tapped into my path.